When Caitlin's light shines on her, it shines on all of us, and I think everybody else needs to embrace that.
Listening to Lisa Bluder speak in these interviews, in these press conferences, it allowed us to feel a sense of, you know what? Caitlin Clark has some strong people in her corner, and if not, Lisa Bluder definitely is a strong figure in that corner.
Imagine this. You're the most talked about player in NBA history, shattering viewership records, driving ticket sales to new heights, and contributing to over a quarter of the league's total revenue, all while breaking 62 records along the way. You'd expect widespread celebration, right? Not quite. Caitlin Clark is encountering resistance from some of the very people who should be her biggest supporters, from college star to WNBA icon. Her journey has taken an unexpected turn, but in the midst of the backlash, one voice is rising to defend her. Lisa Bluder, Clark's former coach, is speaking out, shedding light on why this criticism is misdirected and what it means for the future of women's basketball. Want to hear her perspective? Let's dive in.
Bluder was the coach for Caitlin Clark and obviously had the front row seat, if you will, and helped shape what has become this phenomenon.
Remember when Caitlin Clark was just another college player? Yeah, neither do we. That's because she's always been a standout. Clark's journey from Iowa to the WNBA draft has been nothing short of spectacular. Over 4 seasons, she averaged an impressive 28.4 points, 7.1 rebounds, and 8.2 assists per game. But the numbers only tell part of the story. Her playing style is nothing short of electrifying. Deep three-pointers that send fans to their feet, and passing skills that leave defenders lost in her wake. It's no surprise she helped Iowa sell out every single game in her final season.
We just watched the 4 college years of Caitlin Clark, and a question sticks out. What can't she do? We are watching one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
You might think the transition to the WNBA would be a challenge, but Clark? She just kept soaring. She's been dominating scoreboards, filling arenas, and capturing attention from all angles. And here's the kicker. She's not just winning on the court. Clark is drawing in a whole new wave of fans who've never watched women's basketball before.
My expectation is to be one of the best players in the world one day. I wouldn't expect anything less than that.
But here's where it gets really wild. Clark didn't just meet expectations in her rookie season. She obliterated them. She led the Fever to their first playoff appearance in nearly a decade, drew record crowds, and consistently delivered performances that had everyone talking for days.
More history for the Fever rookie!
At this point, continue to be myself, and I think a lot of good will come from that.
All of this brilliance didn't go unnoticed. Clark was named WNBA Rookie of the Year, selected to the All-WNBA first team, and if that wasn't enough, Time magazine named her Athlete of the Year. It seemed like the whole world was falling in love with Caitlin Clark. But hold on, because this fairy tale has a twist. Not everyone is thrilled about her meteoric rise. In fact, some people are downright upset about it. And that's where our story takes an unexpected turn.
Time magazine names Iowa's Caitlin Clark Athlete of the Year. Clark follows Lionel Messi, Aaron Judge, and Simone Biles. No unbiased person sees this as a controversial choice.
You'd think being named Time's Athlete of the Year would be a cause for celebration for Caitlin Clark. But instead, it sparked a firestorm. The controversy that followed raises an uncomfortable question in the world of women's basketball. Can anyone truly win? Just when Clark seemed poised to reach the pinnacle of her sport, a storm began to brew. Washington Mystics owner Sheila Johnson didn't hold back in expressing her concerns about Clark's rise, pointing out that the WNBA's success didn't come overnight. She emphasized that it's taken nearly 28 years for the WNBA to get to where it is today. Johnson also stressed that this year's surge in popularity wasn't just about one player. It was the entire draft class that made waves.
Well, Washington Mystics owner Sheila Johnson tells CNN it's race. Johnson suggests putting the whole league on the Time cover could have prevented hard feelings.
But Johnson didn't stop there. She highlighted a deeper issue, the lack of recognition for players of color. I feel really bad, Johnson admitted. because I've seen so many players of color who are equally as talented, and they never got the recognition that they should have.
Hard feelings? Clark elevated a 28-year-old league to relevance it had never approached. You would think that would be appreciated, especially by an owner who had nearly a third of her team's home attendance come from 2 Fever games.
This backlash opened up a whole can of worms in women's basketball. It's not just about one award. It's about who gets seen, who gets celebrated, and who gets overlooked. The debate sparked a bigger question. Does focusing on one rising star overshadow the collective achievements of the league? So how did Clark handle all this heat with such grace and self-awareness that it caught many by surprise?
And I just want to know how you feel or how you respond to some of those criticisms when you have to deal with something that it's really not your problem. Like, I feel like it's them looking in a mirror a little bit, but it still comes down on your shoulders.
I feel like I always have had really good perspective on everything that's kind of happened in my life, whether that's been good, whether that's been bad. And then obviously coming to the WNBA, like I've said, I feel like I've earned every single thing that's happened to me over the course of my career.
This backlash opened up a whole can of worms in women's basketball. It's not just about one award. It's about who gets seen, who gets celebrated, and who gets overlooked. The debate sparked a bigger question. Does focusing on one rising star overshadow the collective achievements of the league? So how did Clark handle all this heat with such grace and self-awareness that it caught many by surprise?
We got to start with one of your other, I guess, maybe, previous daughters, top athletes from Iowa. Of course, I'm talking about Caitlin Clark. Wow is all I can say. I mean, I can't imagine what the last 12 months have been like for her, but it seems like she handles every single piece of adversity thrown her way with poise and class. So in your opinion, how do you feel like she's handled it all, and have you had a chance to speak with her much?
Just when it seemed Caitlin Clark was standing alone against a wave of criticism, a familiar voice cut through the noise. What Lisa Blyer said next left the basketball world stunned. Lisa Blyer isn't just any coach. She's the woman who mentored Caitlin Clark throughout her college career at Iowa, witnessing firsthand the rise of a superstar. Blyer's connection with Clark goes way back, all the way to 8th grade. That's when Blyer first recognized Clark's incredible potential, long before she became a household name.
After hearing the nonsense, Lisa Bluter, in the most recent interview she's given, speaks about that.
But Blyer isn't one to stay silent when she sees injustice. As the criticism against Clark grew, Blyer stepped up to the plate with a powerful defense that had everyone talking. She didn't just support Clark, she challenged the entire basketball community to rethink their stance.
Oh, I get to speak with her, absolutely. Sometimes during games, we'll text each other and talk about how the game flow is going, the Iowa Hawkeye games are going, but no, I think she's handled this unbelievably. You forget sometimes, this is a 22-year-old, right? She's been named Time Female or Athlete of the Year and has had all kinds of things coming at her from all different types of directions.
Blyer's perspective on Clark's impact is eye-opening. She sees Clark as more than just a talented player. She's a game changer for women's sports as a whole. Blyer pointed out that Clark's success isn't just about her personal achievements. It's about elevating the entire sport, bringing in new fans, and shining a spotlight on women's basketball like never before.
With that publicity becomes some haters always, and that's unfortunate. But we really work hard at Iowa on putting the blinders on and just being able to be very tunnel visioned, and I think it's helping her right now.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Blyer didn't just defend Clark. She drew a powerful comparison to a legend. Billie Jean King, the tennis icon who fought for women's equality in sports, was brought up in Blyer's passionate speech. The message was clear. Clark isn't just playing basketball, she's changing the game, both on and off the court.
It's silly to me that anybody's trying to take away from something that's so good in your sport right now. I mean, this is a person that's really helped athletics, helped women's sport in a way that nobody has helped women's sports maybe since Billie Jean King. So let's get on the bandwagon and help her out, make her life a little bit easier because she is helping all of us.
But Blyer didn't stop there. She addressed the criticism head-on, particularly the comments from Sheila Johnson. Remember how Johnson suggested the entire WNBA should have been recognized instead of just Clark? Blyer had something to say about that.
Sometimes, we used to tell our team, listen, when Caitlin's light shines on her, it shines on all of us. And I think everybody else needs to embrace that a little bit better.
Was a call for unity a reminder that Clark's success lifts the entire Sport Bowl's words, cut through the noise, reminding everyone that this isn't a zero-sum game. When one player shines, it can brighten the future for all. Blur shared a revealing insight about Clark's impact on her Iowa teammates. The thing is, Caitlin believed it, and Caitlin put it out there. She told everybody we're going to a Final Four. She got everybody in that locker room to believe it. This wasn't just about Clark's skill. It was about her leadership, her ability to inspire those around her to reach higher.
She's really goal-driven, and so if she thinks something's going to help her achieve the success, that team success, she's all on board. It was really easy keeping her focused on the prize. And I think her family, her parents are really good. They kept her grounded. So it really wasn't that hard of a challenge for us. We all knew what we wanted to do, and we tried to eliminate a lot of those outside distractions and focus on what we were doing, and that was trying to get try to get back to the Final Four and win a national championship.
If this is what Lisa Bluder told Caitlin Clark, if some sentiment similar to this, calming the situation, Lisa Bluder's a class act. Continues to show she's a class act and continues to earn the respect of so many people.